Thank you. That concludes public questions. We now move on to item 5 of the agenda, neighbourhood planning, application designation of a neighbourhood area and forum for South Newnham. And Ian Poole to speak on this.
Thank you, Chair. Today the subcommittee has been asked to consider applications to designate a neighbourhood area in the Newnham ward and a neighbourhood forum that will be responsible for the preparation of a neighbourhood plan for that area. These decisions must be made in sequence, as the neighbourhood forum must be representative of a designated neighbourhood area. Neighbourhood planning was introduced in the 2011 Localism Act, and across the UK around 2,000 neighbourhood plans are at various stages of their preparation, with over 200 complete and in operation. The formal start of the process involves the designation of a neighbourhood area, and in the case of Cambridge, the designation of the neighbourhood forum that will actually prepare the plan. In rural areas, the parish council is defined as the appropriate body for preparing a neighbourhood plan, and the boundaries will normally follow the parish boundary. In non-parished areas, such as the city, neither option is available, and both the neighbourhood area and the neighbourhood forum, which is the appropriate body, has to be designated. In each case, whether in a parish area or not, consultation on the proposed neighbourhood area has to be undertaken by the local planning authority in such a manner as they consider is likely to bring the area application to the attention of people who live, work or carry on business in the area, to the area which the application relates. At the end of the consultation period, the local planning authority must make a decisions on whether to designate the area and the forum. The planning authority must not allow the decision to be clouded by what might or might not be contained in the neighbourhood plan, as and when that emerges. Local planning authorities must provide advice and assistance to those preparing neighbourhood plans, albeit the extent of this assistance is discretionary. In terms of the neighbourhood area, plan on page 21 of the report in Appendix A identifies the proposed area has been subject to local preliminary engagement by the proposed forum prior to its submission to the City Council for formal designation. City Council undertook statutory consultation and 28 responses were received. The majority were supportive, but one person requested that the proposed boundary was changed to include properties that front onto Grange Road and south of Barton Close In response, it is often difficult in a city area such as Cambridge to define clear boundaries in an urban area and to determine whether the area is, but what we need to do is determine whether the area is coherent, consistent and appropriate in planning terms. And in this instance, officers are recommending that the submitted boundary is designated. In terms of the neighbourhood forum, the forum itself must comply with the 3 requirements as set out on paragraph 3.7 of the report. The application containing responses to those criteria is contained in Appendix A of the committee report and demonstrates compliance with those requirements. The proposed documentation has also been subject to statutory consultation, and 26 responses were received, all in support of its designation. So therefore again recommended that the neighbourhood area designation is made and that South Neighbourhood Forum is designated as the appropriate body for the preparation of the neighbourhood plan. Happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you very much. Can I just check, so in the context of the localism legislation, does that mean that this body would have an equivalent status with respect to planning applications that a parish council would in the context of the proposed consultation?
Yes, Chair. Once an area is designated, under revisions to the regulations that were brought in last year, the forum has the right to be consulted on applications and make responses to those applications.
Thank you. Do any Councillor Sargent?
Thank you. Yeah, I was interested in our comment, or the comment from the council, that there'd be no extra cost for this, and you did say it's discretionary, the level of support we give. Well, I assume any level of support will have a cost. And my second point is, what happens about any conflicts between neighbourhood plan and the local plan? Are they restricted by the local plan? Thank you.
Yes, in terms of costs, upon designation of both the area and forum, for the first 5 areas and forum that are designated, the City Council can apply for and receive a grant of £5,000 for the forum and the area. So in this instance, you're entitled to claim a £10,000 grant. And at the end of the process, once a neighbourhood plan goes to referendum, there is a £20,000 grant available currently to the City Council. Now that's the current financial year, the 2017-18 financial year. Obviously it depends on when that neighbourhood plan goes to referendum in terms of what money is available. In terms of in response to your second question about conflict, all neighbourhood plans have to comply and be in conformity with the strategic policies of the local plan that is in place at that time. And what they have to do is prepare what's known as a basic condition statement that demonstrates how the policies in a neighbourhood plan comply with the strategic policies of a local plan. And then under examination, the examiner will determine whether they are in conflict.
Councillor Avery.
Thank you, Chair. Just a few questions. I think this is our first go at one of these, so clearly I imagine we're all learning a bit as we go along. But no doubt, I think you said there were 2,000 or 4,000 nationally, so there must be a lot of learning. I'm interested, as I understand it, the forum then has the responsibility for driving the process forward with assistance from the council. I'm sort of interested what happens if the forum goes rogue, if it stops doing anything, it doesn't drive it forward. Given that it appears to have this position as a statutory consultee now, presumably if it doesn't respond to applications and doesn't consult, provide comments, and that doesn't matter. But I suppose there's scope for it to perform a slightly different role. And not to be driving forward the plan. So how do we ensure that the forum does progress? And what happens if the forum winds itself up? It has power to control itself. It just decides it's too difficult. Does that mean that then the plan stops, so the area kind of is in abeyance until another forum is found? I'm guessing that's the answer.
Yes, thank you. The whole preparation of a neighbourhood plan is purely voluntary to the organisation that is preparing it, even under parish council process. And yes, there have been a number of occasions nationally where, even when driven by a parish council, they stop and abandon and decide it's too difficult, we're not going to carry on. The local planning authority's role is to help and advise, but not to compel them to complete the work. And again, in this instance, if the neighbourhood forum stopped, but the neighbourhood area is designated, then if they were wound up and their constitution allows them to be wound up, then there is provision within the regulations for another forum to be established, and as long as it meets those requirements of regulations, then they could be applied to be designated as the forum in this neighbourhood area. But as I say, it is purely voluntary for an organisation to take it on.
Any other? Councillor Big.
Thank you, Chair. I guess when these the provision under which areas can have these neighbourhood plans emerge, most people felt that they were designed around rural parishes, rural villages. And I wouldn't mind betting that there's a very large number that have started to happen and have been created, but the majority of them are in those sort of situations. And I suppose the more interesting learning from elsewhere is how consistent neighbourhood plans can be within a sort of continuous urban area like our own, where it's more difficult to draw boundaries and less difficult to be separate, more difficult to be separate. I mean, having said that, I think it's a reasonable aspiration that there is some opportunity to reflect local character and needs somewhere in the planning system. But my remaining concern about this is about the setting of expectations for it, because it can be the case that an exercise like this becomes the focus of a desire to frustrate the local plan, or to sort of feel that people are taking over the local plan. Clearly, as we've heard, that's not what it can be about, but there is, it seems, an enormous exercise in expectation setting to ensure that effort is channeled in a direction which can come to fruition rather than just generates an argument. And I mean, I would like it to come to fruition and be a positive thing, but I think there is the potential for that not to be the case, and I just want to understand from officers what effort has been put in, what their feeling is about expectations and their realism.
Thank you, Joe. We have been having some discussions with the forum and the lead members of the forum about the ambitions for the neighbourhood plan. And I think, and reflecting on your comments about the urban area difficulties, a number of London authorities have got neighbourhood plans emerging and actually in place, and what they do and what the neighbourhood plan adds to the planning framework is that local scenario, that local distinctiveness that can't necessarily be captured within a neighbourhood or a local plan. And indeed that's happening a lot in rural areas and rural neighbourhood plans, the parish-based neighbourhood plans as well, that they are adding that local detail. As I say, we've been having discussions with them, and I think the secret is, and this is kind of the help and advice that the local planning authority and we can give, is to check in occasionally with them to make sure that they are not seeking to produce a neighbourhood plan that ultimately isn't going to get through the referendum and isn't going to get through examination, especially examination. There have been instances across the country, one in Northamptonshire recently, where there was clearly conflict between a local authority and the neighbourhood plan group, and it just did not get through examination. There's a lot of time wasted there, I think, from looking at it, because there wasn't the liaison with the local planning authority and the neighbourhood plan group.
Take now a question or comment from Councillor Smart. I'm very eager to move to a vote on this, because this is a largely procedural matter responding to local requests from residents. Councillor Smart.
Thank you, Dr. Chairman. I'll try to be brief. So, I think it's great that local people want to take an active part in their community, firstly. Like some other councillors have said, I've got a few concerns. As I understand it, it means that they can, I think it said as a localism map, it can guide and shape their development in their area. That's quite a powerful position to feel you're in. If you feel it, you might not be in it, but you might feel you're in it. So that's of concern in the sense that if they're not really in that position, then they're not going to get to guide and shape development in their area. I'm concerned about fairness as well. Does this mean that South Newnham is going to be in a stronger position to guide and shape development in their area as opposed to any other part of Cambridge, like King's Hedges, for example? And on the costs of things, in terms of getting grants from government and such like, what you never said was whether that's going to cover our costs for example, will this group have a link officer that will go to their AGMs to check that they've got 8 members to provide a forum, that sort of thing, check that it's all running as it should, as well as the costs, however you say it in accounting terms, zero-based accounting or something, but the complete cost to us as a council of helping them run this thing. So will we cover our costs, or will it be a net cost to us? That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Chair. In terms of fairness and situation across the city, regardless of whether a neighbourhood plan goes in place in this area or not, whether it eventually occurs or not, the local plan and the national planning framework remain in place as the development plan, so we always take decisions and make decisions based on what's in those documents. Anyway, it's just that a neighbourhood plan provides a little bit of local detail on that, but remembering that it still has to conform with what is in the local plan and the national planning policy framework. So it is providing that little bit of detail. In terms of costs, clearly this is the first one in the city. My own personal experience of working with neighbourhood planning authority, neighbourhood plans in other districts, primarily in Suffolk, is that the £10,000 will more than cover the cost of support. And one of the first things we need to do with the neighbourhood forum is, once it's in place, is to discuss the way forward and the level of support that we will offer based on the available budget.
Thank you. So it doesn't seem to provide any opportunity, as it were, to frustrate the local plan. I must say, if I were a resident or property owner in Newnham, I would be very wary of helping to create a collective forum through which my neighbours might have a greater opportunity to interfere with or frustrate my own planning applications. If that's what people want, that's what people want. So I propose to go to the vote. The recommendations set out on page 14. We take these recommendations in 2 parts. Firstly, can I please take the first recommendation, recommending the Executive Councillor to approve the designation of the South Newnham neighbourhood area as identified in Appendix A of this report. Can I please see all those in favour? Thank you. Can I now vote on the second part, please, section B, the recommendation that, subject to the approval of A, which we've done, to approve the designation of the South Newnham Neighbourhood Forum as the appropriate body for the preparation of a neighbourhood plan for the South Newnham neighbourhood area. Can I please see all those in favour?
Again, unanimous, Chair.
Thank you. Is the Executive Councillor willing to proceed accordingly?
Yes, I am, Chair, and having met some of the participants thus far, I think there is a genuine desire to help shape development in this area of Newnham, not necessarily prevent. I think they understand the role that they wish to take forward, and I do wish them well with it, and it is a case of a bit of a test case for us in terms of the city, but I think there is a genuine desire to help sort of improve their neighbourhood in a positive way, and we'll see how it turns out.